You notice a dip right here in your hips, a hollow that wasn't there before. You're not imagining it, and more importantly, it's not just about how it looks, because that hip dip you're seeing, for many adults over 50, it's often a sign that something deeper is changing. Research from the National Institute on Aging shows that after age 50, we can lose up to 1 to 2% of muscle mass every year. And studies published in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy link weak hip muscles to significantly higher risk of falls and joint instability. So what starts as a small dip can slowly turn into something you feel every day. Your hips feel weaker, your steps feel less steady, your knees and lower back start doing work they were never meant to do. And over time, your body stops moving the way it used to. But here's the part most people never get told. That dip in your hips. It's not just your bone structure. In many cases, it's your side glutes, the muscles that keep you upright, no longer working the way they should. And the good news, you don't need a gym. You don't need heavy weights, and you don't need to push harder. You just need to wake those muscles back up. In this video, I'm going to show you 5 simple exercises you can do at home to help fill out your hips, strengthen your glutes, and feel more stable every time you walk. Not by forcing your body, but by retraining it. Before we begin, I'd love to hear from you. Go ahead and comment your age and where you're watching from. I read more of these than you might think. And if your goal is to improve your hip shape, feel stronger, and move with more confidence, just type the number 9 in the comments. It may seem simple, but small actions like this are often the first step toward real change. Now here's what's really going on. That dip you see in your hips isn't just about your bones. In many cases, it's influenced by a muscle on the side of your hips called the gluteus medius. This muscle plays a key role in keeping your pelvis stable every time you walk, stand, or shift your weight. As we get older, this muscle often becomes weaker, especially if we spend more time sitting or moving less. And when that happens, your hips may start to look less full and feel less stable. Research in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity shows that reduced hip strength is closely linked to balance issues in older adults. So instead of trying to fix your body, what we're going to do is strengthen what supports it. And that's exactly what these 5 exercises are designed to do. Number 5, seated band abduction. This may look like one of the simplest exercises in this video, but for many adults over 50, it's one of the most important places to start. The seated band abduction directly targets the gluteus medius, the muscle responsible for keeping your hips stable and supported. When this muscle is weak, your hips can appear flatter from the side and less filled out from behind. But more importantly, it can affect how steady you feel when you stand or walk. Research has shown that hip abduction strength is strongly associated with balance and fall recovery ability in older adults. So even though this movement looks small, it plays a big role in both how your hips look and how your body feels. How to do it safely. Start by sitting on a firm chair with your feet flat on the floor. Place a light resistance band just above your knees. Sit tall, don't lean back. Gently engage your core so your upper body stays stable. From here, slowly press your knees outward against the band. Keep your feet planted. The movement should come from your hips, not your ankles. Go only as far as you can while staying in control. At the widest point, pause for 1 to 2 seconds and focus on the muscles along the outside of your hips. Then slowly bring your knees back to the starting position. Aim for 12 to 15 controlled repetitions. A common mistake is moving too fast or letting the knees snap back in. Instead, think slow, steady, and controlled. It may not feel dramatic at first, but this is how you begin to rebuild strength where it matters most. Number 4, clamshell. This is one of those exercises that looks almost too simple, but it plays a powerful role in how your hips function and how they look. The clamshell targets the gluteus medius, the same muscle responsible for stabilizing your pelvis and shaping the outer curve of your hips. When this muscle isn't working properly, Your hips may shift side to side when you walk, and your knees may start to collapse inward over time. Research in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Patterns and Reduce Joint Stress. So this movement isn't just about appearance. It helps your body move more efficiently and feel more stable. How to do it safely. Start by lying on your side with your hips stacked directly on top of each other. Bend your knees comfortably and keep your feet together. Rest your head on your arm or a pillow so your neck stays relaxed. Now place one hand on your top hip. This is important. It helps you feel if your hips start to roll backward. From here, slowly lift your top knee upward while keeping your feet touching. Only lift as far as you can without letting your hips rotate. That smaller range of motion is exactly where your glute is doing the work. Pause briefly at the top, then slowly lower your knee back down with a control. Aim for 10 to 12 slow repetitions per side. A common mistake is trying to lift too high, which shifts the effort into your lower back. Instead, focus on control and precision. It may feel subtle at first, but this is how you begin to reconnect with a muscle that supports your entire movement system. Number 3, side lying leg raise. Now we move into a slightly more direct way to shape the outer hips. The side lying leg raise specifically targets the gluteus medius, helping build that gentle curve along the side of your hips, the area often associated with hip dips. When this muscle becomes stronger, it can help your hips look more supported and balanced rather than flat or hollow. But beyond appearance, this muscle plays a key role in keeping your pelvis stable when you walk or stand on one leg. Research in the Journal of Aging and Physical Activity links stronger hip muscles to better balance and improve movement control in older adults. So this exercise supports both how your hips look and how your body performs. Legs straight. Rest your head comfortably on your arm or a pillow. Before you lift your leg, check your alignment. Your hips should be stacked and your toes should point forward, not up toward the ceiling. Now slowly lift your top leg about 12 to 18 inches. You don't need to go higher than that. As you lift, focus on keeping your body steady. Avoid rolling backward or using momentum. Pause briefly at the top. Then slowly lower your leg back down with control. Aim for 10 to 12 slow repetitions per side. A common mistake is lifting too high or letting the toes rotate upward, which shifts the work away from the hip. Instead, keep the movement small and controlled. This is where the muscle begins to engage and where real change starts to happen. Number 2, fire hydrant. Now we move into a position that challenges your hips in a more functional way. The fire hydrant targets the gluteus medius while also training your body to stay stable as your leg moves, something you use every day when you walk. Turn or shift your weight. When this muscle becomes stronger, your hips feel more supported and your movements become more controlled. Over time, this can help reduce that side-to-side hip drop that often makes the hips appear less full and less stable. Movement research has shown that strengthening the hip stabilizers plays a key role in improving balance and reducing strain on the knees and lower back. So this exercise helps build both strength and control at the same time. How to do it safely. Start on your hands and knees, with your hands directly under your shoulders and your knees under your hips. Keep your spine in a neutral position, not arched, not rounded. Gently engage your core to support your lower back. From here, slowly lift one knee out to the side, keeping your knee bent at about a 90-degree angle. Think of your leg opening like a hinge at the hip. Only lift as high as you can while keeping your hips level and facing the floor. Avoid leaning your body or shifting your weight to the opposite of the seat. Pause briefly at the top, then slowly lower your knee back down with control. Aim for 10 to 12 slow repetitions per side. A common mistake is lifting too high or rotating the torso, which takes the work away from the hip. Instead, focus on slow, steady movement. This is where your hips learn to stay strong and stable during real-life motion. Number 1, side plank and leg lift. This is where everything comes together. The side plank with leg lift doesn't just target your hips, it trains your entire body to stay strong, stable, and controlled at the same time. It powerfully activates the gluteus medius, helping build that outer hip support that can make your hips look more lifted and balanced. But more importantly, it challenges your balance and coordination, two things that become increasingly important after 50. Studies in the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy have linked improved hip strength and stability to reduced fall risk in older adults. So this movement goes beyond appearance. It helps your body stay upright, responsive, and resilient. How to do it safely. Start by lying on your side with your elbow directly under your shoulder. Stack your legs, or for more stability, place your top foot slightly in front of the bottom one. If this feels challenging, you can bend your bottom knee for support. From here, press your forearm into the ground and lift your hips up into a straight line from your shoulders to your ankles. Pause here for a moment to find your balance. Then, slowly raise your top leg about 30 to 45 degrees. Keep your body steady. Don't let your hips drop or roll backward. Hold the leg at the top for 2 to 3 seconds. Then lower it back down with control. Aim for 5 to 8 slow repetitions per side, holding each rep for a few seconds. A common mistake is rushing or losing alignment. Instead, focus on control, breathing steadily, and staying stable. This is the point where your hips don't just get stronger. They start working the way they were meant to. You don't need to do everything at once. What matters most is consistency, not intensity. Week 1 to 2, start with the first 3 exercises: seated band abduction, clamshell, and side-lying leg raise. Perform each for 2 sets, 10 to 15 slow reps. Focus on control and learning the movement. Week 3, add the fire hydrant. Keep the same structure, but begin to feel more stability in your hips. You can increase to 3 sets if it feels comfortable. Week 4, introduce the side plank with leg lift. Start with a modified version if needed. Now you're training both strength and balance together. Aim for 3 to 4 sessions per week, with rest days in between. Stay patient with your body. Small, consistent effort is what leads to visible and lasting change. If you follow this routine consistently for the next 2 to 4 weeks, I want you to come back to this video and tell me what changed. Not just how your hips look, but how you feel. Do you feel more stable when you walk? Do your hips feel stronger or more supported? Are everyday movements starting to feel easier? Write it in the comments. Your experience might be exactly what someone else needs to see to get started. And if you're just beginning today, type starting now below, because the truth is you don't need perfect conditions. You just need a starting point, and this can be yours. This video is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. If you have existing joint pain, balance issues, or any medical condition, please consult with your healthcare provider before starting these exercises. Move within your comfort level and stop if you feel pain or discomfort. There are always ways to modify these movements to better suit your body and your current ability level. At the end of the day, this isn't just about fixing how your hips look. It's about how you feel in your body. It's about standing a little taller, walking a little steadier, and feeling more confident in movements you do every single day. Because after 50, your body doesn't stop adapting. It just needs the right kind of input. And what you've seen today isn't complicated, it's not extreme, but it works when you stay consistent. Those small, controlled movements. They're what rebuild strength where it matters most. So don't rush the process. Don't compare yourself to anyone else. Just focus on showing up again and again. If this video helped you, take a moment to like, share, and save it so you can come back to it later. And if you know someone who might benefit from stronger, more stable hips, send this to them, because strong hips don't just change how you look, they change how you live.